Ready?
Hey everybody, it's Jack. In this video, I'm going to clarify for you all the difference between a side pass and a leg yield. Sometimes people use these terms interchangeably, and it's important to know that they actually refer to different exercises. So, a side pass is an exercise typically only referred to in the Western disciplines or when you're working obstacles, and it is exactly as it sounds. You are asking your horse to walk straight sideways. So, let's say I was going to ask Diamante right now to do a side pass, like over towards this fence right here on my side. So, I don't want any forward movement. I just want him to move like there's a string tied to his left shoulder and it's pulling us sideways like this, okay? So his hips and his forehand stay in line with each other and I'm parallel to this fence. Now after we itch our nose, I'll side pass back in that direction. So again, commonly, you're gonna use this technique if you need to like side over and open a gate on the trail, if you need to get around something on the trail. It is not an exercise that we use in dressage and many English flat work for the following reason. When the limbs are moving straight sideways, they are not coming forward under the body at the same time they're moving laterally. So basically his hind feet are not simultaneously stepping towards his front feet. They're literally just sort of moving sideways. What we want in dressage with lateral work is to put more weight on those hind joints, to teach the horse how to narrow his stance, how to tuck his hind quarter under him and put weight on those hind limbs. So that's where leg yield came from. So let me demonstrate that. Leg yield is more of a diagonal movement and the horse steps forward and sideways. There's always a slight bend or flexion away from your direction of travel. So if you can see that right now, Diamante is bent a little bit that direction, but we're actually moving this way. And every step goes forward and sideways, forward and sideways. So you see how I'm not just shooting straight sideways on this one. And again, I'm just demonstrating this in the walk, even though typically we do this exercise. Let me turn around, I'll come back towards the camera. Typically we do this exercise in a little bit more lively gait, because another bonus of the exercise is it gets the horse to release through his rib cage. By degree of being flexed and traveling forward, there's those rhythmic pulsations and the need to stabilize his trunk. So you get this really nice, we call it softening through the rib cage, yeah? So doing a little leg yield here towards the gate, like such. So see, it's not a dramatic sideways movement. Sometimes people get confused. They're like, am I doing leg yield? Because the horse isn't really moving very much sideways. I'm going to show one last thing before we wrap up this video. I'm going to turn towards you so you can see my leg. If I'm going to leg yield this direction, many of you were taught early on to take this leg off the side of their body so the horse understands, like, oh, I can move that way. And that might be the way you teach them for like the first day or two. This leg needs to be lightly against the horse because this is what helps you organize this whole line of his body down the road. So if your cue is this, okay, look how disorganized this is. Whoops, the poles are in my way. Let me get over these poles. Instead, your outside leg, when I turn towards the camera, should be lightly against the horse so that if and when he starts to go too much sideways, which we consider an evasion in leg yield, I close this leg and I say, whoop, come a little forward, please. And that straightens his body out. It like takes the kink out of his body, okay? So if you go to a clinic and you have a young horse and they teach you to move sideways by take your outside leg off, that's not incorrect, but understand it is a temporary thing and you want to move past that. So side pass versus leg yield. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in a future video.